Hi guys, Dr. Rob Barrington here with some more nutrition advice. If I told you that fibre provided significant amounts of your daily energy requirements, you might find that quite surprising. Now, most people consider carbohydrate, protein, fat, and to some extent ethanol as the main contributors of energy, but it's increasingly being shown in the nutritional literature that fibre is an important source of energy. In fact, a high fibre diet may provide upwards of 5% of our daily energy needs. Now, what is fibre? Fibre is the non-digestible carbohydrate component of plant material. It's similar to starch in its construction, apart from the fact that the glycosidic bonds within the molecules are actually not digestible by our own enzymes. We don't have the enzymes necessary to break those glycosidic bonds, and therefore we can't actually digest the fibre. So whereas starch is digested in our small intestine, fibre actually passes straight through, and this is why fibre has traditionally been considered to provide roughage to the diet. It provides bulk to the chyme, which is the digested food component in our intestine. However, it's increasingly being shown that fibre is an important substrate for the microorganisms that live in our colon. We have many different microorganisms that live in our colon. What makes up about a pound of weight of our total body weight. So it's a considerable amount of bacteria present in our colon, and these bacteria possess the enzymes to ferment the fibre. Now, when they ferment the fibre that we ingest, they produce a series of volatile fatty acids, also called short-chain fatty acids, that include acetate, butyrate, and propionate. And these short-chain fatty acids appear to have beneficial effects. It's been shown, for example, that these short-chain fatty acids increase the proliferation of enterocytes and help them divide. So they may be necessary for correct colon health. However, more interestingly, they're absorbed and they're used as a source of energy. Now, estimates have been done to try and work out how much fibre produces how much energy, and it's not fully understood, but around 10 grams of fibre should provide 100 millimole of acetate, which should provide around about 50 kilocalories, which is not an insignificant amount of energy. So these short-chain fatty acids are important sources of energy, but more importantly, they appear to have appetite regulatory effects. Studies have looked at these short-chain fatty acids, and they appear to have effects on the central nervous system, and in particular they appear to increase satiety. Now, this may be one of the reasons that high fibre diets are also beneficial weight loss diets. I've mentioned it in some of my previous videos that those people who consume higher amounts of fibre in their diet are much more likely to be the correct body weight. As your fibre intake goes down, as you eat a more typical Western diet, you tend to find that your body weight, an association with body weight occurs, such that as your fibre intake goes down, people's body weights go up. Now, this is not the reason for the association is not fully understood, but if we know that short-chain fatty acids produced from fibre have an appetite regulatory effect, it may be that the fibre, when you add it to your diet, actually improves your satiety and makes you less likely to overconsume energy. Another important facet of this is that the short-chain fatty acids, because they can be used as energy, they may actually help regulate blood glucose levels. It's unknown, and this is speculation on my part, but if you have higher amounts of obviously available energy because you've eaten fibre, and that fibre is very slowly released, the fermentation of this fibre will take many hours, and therefore, for example, if you eat a bowl of porridge oats, you would digest the starch, in the porridge oats quite quickly, and that would provide you with blood sugar levels, provide you with glucose to increase your blood sugar levels. But obviously over the course of the next 12 hours or so, that fibre is then going to be fermented in the colon, and that's going to cause a release of short chain fatty acids that are going to then be released into the circulation, and they're going to be used as a source of energy. They're not only going to have an appetite regulatory effect, but your body is going to have a source of energy that it can use, and therefore it's not going to be so reliant on its glucose levels in order to be able to provide substrates for general metabolic effects. So it could be that high fibre diets are also beneficial in that regard as well. So I hope that's interesting. Next time you think about fibre, don't think about it as an inert plant material that acts as roughage in our diet. It is actually a source of energy, and it may have appetite regulatory effects. If you're trying to lose weight and you haven't already done it, increase the amount of fibre that you have in your diet. I wouldn't recommend fibre supplements. I would suggest that you try and get your fibre from foods. Oats are a brilliant source of fibre. They contain good amounts of soluble fibre, and many fruits and vegetables are also very rich in fibre. Fruits, for example, contain the soluble fibre pectin, which has also been shown to have weight loss effects, appetite regulatory effects as well. So it's not fully understood how these fibres work, and there are many of them. They all seem to have different physiological effects. And as I've said many times before, rather than focusing on a specific compound, pectin or the beta-glucans in oats, the best way to ensure that you get the beneficial effects from fibre is to consume a range of different fibres. So that means both soluble and insoluble fibres. And that means consuming a large range of plant material that contains those fibres. Supplements that contain single isolated fibres, for example, psyllium husk fibre, I think is the wrong way to go about this. As with phytonutrients, they have interactive effects. They are beneficial, but we don't really know which ones are more beneficial than others. And therefore, to cover all the bases, to give yourself the best insurance, the best way to keep your health is to eat a wide range of plant and vegetable matter, and make sure that the fibre that you intake is high in total amount, but contains as many different types of fibre as possible. If you have any comments on this video, if you want to add anything, please leave them in the comments box below, and as always, I will try to get back to you as soon as I can.